Hi there, and welcome to this fourth video about finding and working out who your ideal customer is. My name is Rob McNichol, and today we are talking about psychographics. Now, yesterday we talked about demographics, and demographics, as I said, are the hard facts about people. So the things like how much they earn, what they do for a job, are they married, what their gender is, what their age is, elements like that. And today we're going to be talking about psychographics. Now, psychographics are more of the soft elements around our customers. And before I jump in, just before I go any further, just as I mentioned in the previous video, I've got a laptop just down here. I'm going to be glancing at it because I have a prescribed system and steps for working out the psychographics of my customer. Easy word to say. So I will be glancing at this, and just so I don't miss anything out and give you guys all that information. So let's kick into psychographics and talk about what you need to be looking at. So first off, have a think about your customers, and can you identify actually any hobbies or interests around these people and what defines them? An example of this is the Dollar Beard Club. Now, this is something set up specifically for people who have beards and grow beards. Now, that is an interest, a hobby. It defines who they are. Similarly speaking, you might find people who are crazy mad into something like Krav Maga or Kung Fu, and that again is a hobby or interest, and you would speak quite differently to somebody who's into, say, Kung Fu, as you would do to somebody who's into Jiu-Jitsu, Japanese versus Chinese, people getting all funny about martial arts. I mean, all martial arts respect each other's, but Chinese, Japanese, sometimes there can be a bit of niggle between the two. So you would speak quite differently to them. Similarly speaking, you would speak very differently to somebody with a big old beard as opposed to somebody who shaves and is proud of being clean shaven. So you need to think about what their hobbies or interests are. What are they actually into? Next, what do they watch TV, and what do they like to watch? Now, this might seem like a bit of a weird one, but actually what people watch tells you a lot about the person as a whole. Do they watch crime dramas? Do they watch sci-fi, fantasy? I mean, I think everyone watches Game of Thrones, but do they also watch Walking Dead? What are they into? And not only does this tell you what they're into and more of them as a person, but also it starts to give you some other opportunities for where you might advertise if you start to look at TV advertising, if you're not doing it already, in the future. Now, before you raise your arms and go, no, we can't do TV advertising, too expensive. Actually, there are ways you can do it quite cheaply and utilize it in an incredibly powerful way. And you can do that through YouTube, you can do it through Facebook and using video and targeting people based on their interests and what they like. So you can be really clever about this if you know what people are into. So this is why it's essential to try and work this stuff out. Also, what magazines and papers do they read? Again, this gives you an idea about them as a person, but also gives you a plethora of opportunities of where you can then do some additional advertising to bring in more customers into your business potentially. What websites do they visit? Again, this is going to tell us who they are as a person, but give us opportunities for advertising. Can you see there's kind of a theme with the psychographic element here, that not only are we getting the information about who our ideal customer is so we can talk to them better, but we're also getting some really good intel on where we can market to them and potentially test advertising and marketing to grow our traffic, to then increase our overall conversions, leads, and grow our business. What food do they like to drink? What food do they like to eat, and what do they like to drink? Again, these are important things. People identify themselves. For example, are they a vegetarian? If your average customer is actually vegetarian, and they may well be, then this gives you a different way of speaking and a different opportunity for communication to somebody who is a pure meatitarian or a pescatarian. Meatitarian, that's not the best use of the English language, carnivore, omnivore, but I like the word meatitarian, so we'll stick with that for now. What matters to them in a good shop? And what you think about here is what matters to them in any kind of good retail experience. Now, this applies whether you're doing online e-com or if you're B2B or B2C, because ultimately people are still shopping from you. So try to have a think about the kind of things that would appeal to these people based on their psychographic profiling and what you think might actually work. And you need to to work this out, is you need to bring in your demographic information as well. Because you're going to have a little thing, is they will actually, what might appeal to a 20-year-old is very different to what might appeal to a 50-year-old, unless they're particularly cool and hip. That's such an old word as well, antiquated, but I like it, to a hip, they might be a hip 50-year-old. So think about that, what experience might appeal to them, but bring in your demographics while you're working this out. You don't have to do this two in isolation. They do kind of work well together, demographics and psychographics. Okay, what are their concerns when they're actually shopping and buying? And you might want to think about this from the point of view of your specific industry and your buying experience, and their buying experience within your industry. And what we're trying to do here is think of the objections they might have and what issues they have and what they don't like about the process. And the reason we do this is twofold. One, to kind of understand them better, but also two, so that we can start to build in objection handling into the marketing that we're doing, and actually the marketing we're putting out there straight away rather than waiting for them to come to us. So your marketing should, at its best, be out there making people a great offer, but also handling the objections at the same time. So really, when they click on the button, pick up the phone or reply by a piece of paper or a voucher or something from the newspaper, they are buying, they're not just inquiring. So that's what really good marketing hopefully will do for you. So that's why we grab this information. Now, that is it for psychographics for now. What we're going to do in the next video is we're going to bring this all together and get you to actually create your customer avatar. Now, I don't think that's a word that I've mentioned in these videos so far, but basically it's a general word which describes who your customer is. So actually this vision, this avatar, if you think of the film, although your customer avatar probably isn't going to be a blue alien, might be, you never know, but I don't think so. So you're going to define your customer avatar, and we're going to talk about how you do that using the information you've got here. So I will see you in the next video.